we become the person we are today? Is it a path we choose or one that's chosen for us? The journey from childhood to adulthood is one of the most profound transformations we will ever experience. It's a story written by our biology, shaped by our minds, and colored by the world around us. In this video, we'll explore three critical chapters of this story: the industrious world of late childhood, the turbulent search for self in adolescence, and the life-altering decisions of early adulthood. Guided by the foundational theories of psychologists like Erikson, Piaget, and Vygotsky, we'll uncover the key physical, cognitive, and social-emotional milestones that define these stages. Let's begin where the foundations of competence are built. Welcome to late childhood, the age of doing, building, and mastering skills. Socio-emotionally, the world revolves around Erikson's challenge of industry versus inferiority. The main goal is to feel competent. This is when children are driven to prove to themselves and others that they can succeed. Cognitively, this is Piaget's concrete operational stage. Thinking becomes logical and organized, allowing children to solve hands-on problems and understand concepts like fairness. Physically, the body's growth becomes slow and steady. This allows for a new sense of mastery as motor skills become more coordinated for sports and more precise for tasks like writing. This combination of physical control, logical thinking, and social support builds the foundation for future competence.
Okay, good evening, Sophia. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright.
Okay, can I ask you first, how old are you?
I am 12 years old. I'm
Okay.
turning 13 tomorrow.
Okay, so mag-start na ta. Okay, first question. What is something you worked really hard to get good at? How did it feel when you could finally do it?
My answer is cleaning houses. The thing is, when back then, I don't usually clean house because it's really not my thing. But when my dad says I have to clean always, I started cleaning and do work until I'm starting to get good at it.
Hmm. So, how does it feel na you're getting good at it?
It makes me proud because I can finally clean.
Okay, okay. So, last
I
question.
have responsibilities on houses, like cleaning
Yeah,
my house.
sige.
Yes, that's it.
So, last question. If you were making the rules for a new game, what would be the most important rule to make it fair for everyone?
Uh, trading. Well, the thing is, trading is the most important rule for me because when a player wants to trade with you in a game, you don't know if they'll scam you or not. So in my game, you have to you have to make them first trade you before you trade them. So just in fair.
So, trading it is.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sophia. That's all.
If childhood is about building competence, adolescence is about building an identity. The core socio-emotional task, according to Erikson, is the search for identity versus role confusion. Driven by the question, who am I? Teens explore different roles and values to figure out where they fit in. This inner search is fueled by major biological changes, puberty and hormone shifts, and a new level of cognitive growth. Piaget's formal operational stage emerges, allowing abstract and hypothetical thinking. Adolescents begin to debate justice, freedom, and morality. Vygotsky reminds us that thinking does not grow in isolation. Peer groups, teachers, and even social media shape how adolescents learn, express themselves, and form their beliefs. Culture also plays a powerful role, shaping expectations of behavior, appearance, and success. This combination of a changing body, an abstract mind, and a deep need for identity makes adolescence a turbulent, transformative journey.
Okay, so, good morning, Kim. Thank you for being here today. I am Celeste Odagale, a psychology student conducting this interview for our class project in developmental psychology. So, this interview will only take around 1 to 3 minutes to learn about more on your experiences and insights as an adolescent. So, before we start, this is recorded, okay? So, if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you can skip the question. So, all right, to start off, how are you doing, Kim? Are you okay?
Hi, yes, I'm currently doing well.
Okay, so Sarata, have you ever felt like you were trying on a different versions of yourself to see which one fits? Can you describe that?
To answer the question, if I ever felt like I was trying on different versions of myself to see which one fits, my answer would be yes. Because growing up, I was surrounded by different kinds of people, such as my friends, and I was someone who would look up to people, admiring their different qualities and styles and how they carry themselves. And I've influenced by them. And so I've always had the idea back then that I wanted to have the same personality as those people who I am influenced with. And so back then I've been influenced to trying out different personalities to see which one fits me better. This also aligns with me wanting to fit in with societal standards, such as trying to fit in by impersonating different personalities so that other people would accept me or like me, especially in this modern era. And it gave me the idea because I'm someone I've been a like people pleaser. So my idea was that if I just have different personalities for different for certain people, then I would be able to make them like me, depending on which personality that I'm currently showing them. So that is how I can answer this question.
So, okay, the last question would be, what does a word like justice or freedom mean to you? Has that changed over time?
Answer this question. Growing up, my idea of justice and freedom, it is something that I think every individual has the right to have. Individual deserves to have justice and as well, of course, freedom. Growing up, told I've been told that freedom is something that you or every individual can have. Nobody is there to hold you back or to hinder you. But then again, I was told that not everyone has freedom and that there are some people who can't have freedom just because there are people that ranks higher than them who are able to control them to what can manage to do. But as I grew up, my idea of freedom gradually changed because I think that every individual person always had this freedom. You say that, oh, I don't have freedom because there's someone above me who can still control me. For me, I don't think so because freedom is a choice of yours, and that even if there is something that you think is controlling you, you will always have this choice if whether or not you'll follow their orders or not. For example, right now we have, of course, laws and guidelines that we need to follow in our community, but it is still up to you. It is still up to you if you use your freedom to whether follow or not those rules and guidelines. This is how I think about freedom. Despite the rules that are currently existing, you have the freedom to still think if you're going to follow those rules or not. The thing is, if you have this freedom, we still need to consider the consequences that comes with your actions. Even though you have the freedom to not follow the rules or either obey the rules, there would always be consequences for every actions that you do. That is my answer for this question.
Right? Ms. Kim, thank you so much for participating. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Leaving the search for self behind, the young adult enters a new stage defined by love, work, and independence. After establishing an identity, Erickson's next stage is intimacy versus isolation, where the central challenge is to form deep, committed relationships without losing oneself. Physically, the body is at its peak, but cognitively, thinking continues to evolve into what some call post-formal thought. It becomes more practical and flexible, shaped by the real-world responsibilities of a career and independence. As Vygotsky suggested, learning continues throughout life through social and cultural experiences, relationships, careers, and community involvement. Cultural values about marriage, work, and success shape adulthood differently across societies. By successfully navigating these influences, the young adult builds a stable framework for the rest of life.
Afternoon, Ma'am Bless. How are you doing po?
I'm good. We're at school, and also I have just finished my class with third year psychology students.
Okay po, ma'am. So, let's start. So, first question, can you describe a relationship romantic or platonic, that has had a major impact on who are you today?
Any kind of relationship, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I couldn't think of one single relationship, but I mean, for the past years that I have had relationships, whether it's romantic or platonic, just with friends, I believe all of the things that happened in terms of my relationship with friends or someone romantic, it had a major impact on who I am today. I could just describe it now as whether it was a bad relationship or good in terms of romantic relationships, and also that even the relationship I had with my friends, whether that was platonic, there there were also obstacles that I experienced. And I think all of those things summed up, it had really major impact on who I am today. For example, I am not okay with not being friends with everybody. I've reached that point wherein I don't really focus on numbers in terms of friendship. I would rather have very few close people in my life who are also genuine and who I can call right away if I need help. Kumbaga, those who are there through thick and thin, rather than the numbers I got in my social media. I mean, these people, sometimes I don't know everybody, but yeah, I've learned that over the years that I'm okay with having only very few friends. And that goes also with my relationship. Romantically. Like I'm actually okay with not having a relationship, but right now I'm in a relationship. So and the relationship is healthy, so I plan to keep it. But if there was no person in that picture in terms of the romantic relationship, I think I'm also okay with it. So yeah.
Last question, ma'am. Think about a complex problem you faced recently. How is your approach to solving problems different now compared to when you were a teenager?
I think I've been facing a lot of very, very complex problems and decisions that I really had to make now as an adult. And if I was dealing with it a few years ago, I would be frustrated about it. Maybe I would not even solve it in the first place. I couldn't even think rationally if these problems were present when I was still very young. And I think it goes to show that I've become more mature as a person, as an adult, and I was able to make better sound decisions now as an adult. I couldn't really share one specific problem, but lately I've had a lot of problems, personal problems, family problems, even discovering what I really want in life. No, like that. It's also a problem for me. Even now, as an adult, I'm still finding whether I'm really in it, no, for this role. So if I would compare myself in how I deal with problems now as an adult, I would say that I am more rational about it. I think first before I react. And also, I think I'm better in solving problems now as an adult compared to when I was younger. Because before, I think I would really approach the problem right away. No? First thing, I would react to it. Sometimes it comes out bad. Sometimes it's irrational. And yeah, that's what I've learned over the past years. And what specifically is my approach? I think I like to think about it first. When I encounter something that is difficult or I consider the problem, I would approach it first. And I also believe that I can handle my problems very well because I think first before I do things now. And that helped me so much. Now that it's riskier to decide right away because as an adult, you're already expected to make rational decisions and not to rushly rather decide on things, especially if it's major. So yeah.
Okay, ma'am, thank you so much. That is all the questions po. Thank you so much for participating, ma'am. Beth. Yay!
From the concrete rules of childhood to the abstract questions of adolescence to the complex realities of adulthood, the path of development is a continuous, dynamic journey. Each stage builds upon the last, shaped by our physical growth, our evolving minds, and the people we meet along the way. The journey to become ourselves is, in the end, the one great story we all get to write.